Hey you guys, it's Cami with Coast DIY Bar, and I am jumping on here today to teach you about buffalo plaid. Buffalo plaid. I can't say that. Okay, so I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and kind of walk you through what I've got, and then hopefully by then enough folks will be on that we don't lose too many people. So I actually brought my plaid shirt because I wanted to talk through the logic. When you do buffalo plaid, the big deal about buffalo plaid is going to be my new product. Buffalo plaid is that you have to get your colors right. That's key. And I realized that I'm sitting in the party room because it was the cleanest space, and I am totally washed out. Sorry about that. That's just gonna have to happen. All right, so tell me where you're watching from. Say hey when you log on. And then let's talk through buffalo plaid just a little bit. So, okay, I brought traditional red buffalo plaid because honestly, it's the only one that I could find. But I brought some other things that we could walk through, different color things and ways that you can do it. But what I want you to look at, and I'm going to try to get it close, you can have your own buffalo plaid. Go look at it at some point. Looks like somebody's trying to come in, but they're not going to get me. So what I want you to notice is this. This square right here. This square right here, hey Tracy, is the combination of black and red. So technically buffalo plaid is really two colors. And where the two colors overlap, it makes these little stripes that look like, the further away you get from it, they look like a gray, right? Now, I've seen some stencils that do buffalo plaid that give you this stripe when you do it, and you know, technically it's correct. Hey Sharon. But I'll be honest, when I see it, it looks, I don't know, looks a little cheesy to me. So I like to do this just in a solid color, but the color palette has to be specific. So my recommendation is to test your colors. We've got some tried and true colors in the shop that we've used multiple times. So I'll even show you, we did this one. So this is actually going to be different than the first one I show you. So it's just the charcoal black, and then this one is white as a base. So the way we do buffalo plaid to get that look is choosing three colors, okay? All right, I'm gonna get rid of that. And what I've done is I've created some sample pieces. I am gonna make this. So what I'm gonna make on this is gonna be a new kit. And I'm gonna do buffalo plaid from here down. Oh, hang on. Let me scoot you that down. Okay, so I've pre-stained this with our colonial pine, and there's a line here because you know it's a pine round. We're going to do buffalo plaid from here down, and I've got the work. That just looks like art. And I don't have it backwards, so I'm not even going to bother. But this says cozy in a fancy lettering. And then these little letters that I've taped down so I don't break them say let's get. So let's get cozy. But we'll deal with that again. Let's set that aside. Okay, I'm going to bring this up just a little bit and we'll focus on this area right there if I can get the color to go right. So let's talk buffalo plaid. I'm going to move this. There we go. Okay, can you see these? There we go, that's better, right? Okay, so what I've done is I've brought 3 samples, just cheap wood that I had painted some base coats on. And I want to show you what we're going to do. So the traditional one with the black, the charcoal, and the red is what I'm going to do on my sign. So I'm going to do that on this one, and I'll show you what that looks like. This one already has the white base coat, and I'm going to try these 2 colors. I've never done it, but I feel like these might work. If they don't, You'll see it. It will look like checkerboard, not buffalo plaid. And then the last one I want to try again, I haven't done this before, but I feel like these two work. They have to be in a similar color family because you want them to look like it is the combination of the two. I realize that orange and green don't make green, but we're going to give that a shot. Okay, so I'm going to start on this one. And you may say, why did you stain this beforehand? I didn't need to, now that I've done it. But on my board I did because I'm going to have the top be stained. And on the bottom part, I like to rough it up a little bit with sandpaper. And you can age it with brown paint afterwards, or you can just stain it ahead of time, which I find easier. Okay, so I'm gonna put a base coat of red. Now, I chose like a barn red, brick red is what it's called, because I wanted to try it a little bit darker than what's on my shirt. We do have a bright red in here if you do one of our workshops. It's called lobster red. That is our normal that we do. But I think the brick red will work. And then you're just going to put a solid coat down first. Cover your whole piece that you want to be plaid. I'm not going to go too crazy. So just solid. Hey Kimberly from Williamsburg. Hey Lauren. So just did a solid base. Now, I'm going to whip out the dryer. You've got to blow dry between each step. So give me just a second. Oh wait, while I'm blow drying, oh, I'm blowing board everywhere. All right, our flamingos and flip-flops virtual is still going. We have, I think we've sold over 25 already. So this is going to be a lot like our 4th of July one. It's going to be a lot of party, but it's a simple craft. It's a fun one. It's beautiful when you're done. So I would say drop in it. If you look, there's also flip-flops. Okay, sorry I'm yelling at you. But the flamingo comes with your choice, and notice the L. Hey Jenny. Okay, coming back down. Okay, so we've got our red. I'm gonna turn this so you guys can see that. Now, here's the trick to buffalo plaid. Don't think about it like plaid. Think about it like stripes. Now, if you come in the shop, we made this weird reusable stencil kit. I'm not going to use that today so that I can show you how you can get the results at home. But if you come in, we've got this already set up into the stripes that you need. And it's got all the pieces and parts for easy buffalo plaid. But I'm going to walk you through with tape, and I'm going to take my gloves off because I don't think I could do it. So this tape is 1 inch thick. On this board, I'm going to go ahead and use the width of this tape as the stripe. I think it's going to be fine. But on the big board that I'm going to do at the end, it's a big round if you just logged on. I'm going to double my stripe up. Okay, you guys know how to do stripes. All you do is you use a piece of the tape as your spacer. Now, when you do stripes, you go one way and then dry it and then go another way. Don't try to do them both at once because you end up with some weird squares all over the place. It doesn't work. If you don't like buffalo plaid, right? Let's say you just want a normal plaid, then you can simply do stripes in different widths, back and forth. My advice when you do different plaids that's not buffalo plaid is that you go stripes this way, this way, this way, this way. Go back and forth a couple of times so that it doesn't look so contrived. There's your word of the day. Okay. So I'm only going to get 3 good charcoal stripes. And the color that I'm using in here is, it's just a charcoal, it's a matte paint. I actually think it's, oh gosh, all of our paints need you guys to come in. They are like dried up in the lids. It is gosh, what is this paint? It's a chalk paint. I think it's Rust-Oleum. Okay, and so I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do this. The first way I'm gonna show you on this one here is I'm gonna use a sponge. You can use a brush, but I like to use a sponge because I'm really comfortable stenciling, and it's like stenciling in between these. And as long as I don't go right on the tape line right away, I don't have to worry about bleeding. I can get the most of the paint off, and then I can come back and hit my edges. I also like the look of stenciled stripes because they don't look so precise. If you want them to be heavy, crisp, like when we're doing the flamingo, I'm going to show you, you're going to want heavy, crisp lines. And so we're going to walk you through how to get that on that workshop. This one could be a little bit less fancy. And if you like a rustic look, I would say don't even worry about full coverage. Okay, so stripe 1 done. I'm gonna save these for my next sample. Notice how I'm pulling these off immediately. When you use paint tape as your stencil like this, you can dry it. I don't think it particularly hurts it. It may lose some of its stick. If you have vinyl stencils, never blow dry them. We find that it sticks really hard to the wood, and then when you pull it, it can rip. Okay. I love matte paint for one reason alone. It dries so fast. Okay. So first stripe's done. So now we're going to go do perpendicular stripes right on top. And if I was doing this piece as like a finished product, I might be thinking about where I'm placing these stripes so that they're even on the board like this. I'm not going to worry about it on this sample. And if you know me well enough, you know me, I generally don't worry about it at all. Okay, so if you're just joining, we're doing buffalo plaid. I have put down a base coat of red, and I'm walking through the steps, and then we're going to talk color theory after we walk through the steps. So I've already done the red base coat. I've got a charcoal stripe, and I'm putting down my second layer of charcoal stripes. So see how the stripe is just a little tiny one on the end? I probably wouldn't normally want that to be like that, but we're not going to worry about it for this sample. Making sure my edges are down, and then I'm just going to do the same process real quick. So you just I'm going to tape right off here because I'm showing you how I want that final product to look. I'm going to be doing a round at the end that's going to have paint stain on the top and then buffalo plaid on the bottom. You could do a stripe of buffalo plaid. That's actually what I was going to do at first. And then I decided to do the whole bottom in buffalo plaid. Okay, so notice that I am just going over the whole thing, even the stripes that I just did. Now, if you're using a color that is pretty transparent, so say you do like a gold metallic stripe or something like that, if you do it transparent, one of the things that you're going to see is it's going to look really similar to buffalo plaid immediately because the 2 layers are so transparent. Where they overlap, it's darker. And that's really what happens with buffalo plaid fabric. Okay, now with this one, I'm not going to remove my tape because I need it to stay on there. So I'm going to put my dryer on low. I don't want to really melt my tape. I just want to dry the paint. And again, matte paint is really good for that. Okay. I don't think you can see this, but I'm gonna check. Let me see if I can get this up there. There you go. See that angle right there? See how you can see these stripes right here that go across? That is buffalo plaid, right? Because you've got your two colors kind of streaking across. It's never dark enough for my personal taste. So I'm gonna show you what I like to do at the end. I like to come back, I'm leaving this tape down, and now I'm gonna cover over, if I can see it, whoosh, I'm gonna cover over where the red is. Oh wait, the good thing is I know that I started at the bottom. Come back here. So the red, and remember, cover the red, meaning cover the same way you covered the first time when you did the stripes. Okay, what you're creating right now is the crossover square that goes in between the horizontal and the vertical stripes. So let me show you. Now I've got, hey Christy, now I've got just the squares where my vertical and horizontal stripes cross. I have these open, okay? Now I'm gonna use black. Hey Erin. I'm using a matte black because I want the same matte finish. And I'm just putting it in my palette, you guys. I'm not doing anything fancy. I like to dip it in just like we teach you to stencil. Smush a lot of the paint in. I can tell that I didn't get a lot of paint on there, so I'm not going to worry about dabbing off. I also have been stenciling a long time, so I can tell. For you guys, we would always say dab off first until you get really comfortable. And all I'm doing is I'm going back and putting a thin coat of this matte black where the stripes overlap. We're enhancing that crossover. In your fabric, buffalo plaid fabric, it happens where your naturally where your stripes overlap. Okay. All right, you ready? So I'll cross our fingers. It's nothing like live to see if you really know what you're talking about. Okay, here we go. There we go. Ha-ha! Buffalo plaid. So that's it. So let me pull my shirt. I think we got pretty close. Look. Oh my gosh. Almost exactly it, right? So see, again, in the fabric, you get this look by the crossing stripes, but in paint, we're just taking advantage of having many colors and getting that same look. So this is the look that I'm gonna do on my big round, but I wanted to jump in and try some different colors for you real quick, just to show you that it doesn't have to be red and black. You guys know I'm on the tracks. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna do, this is my stripe color, and this is gonna be my square in the middle. So let's see if we can get a beachy one. And then the base coat's gonna be white. Here's the trick of your base coat. Your base coat can, I guess it could be, but I'll be honest with you, I don't have success if the base coat is darker than the stripes. The stripes need to have a darker tone. They don't have to be in the same color family, but they do need to have a darker tone. Never use these. So again, I'm gonna just do stripes this way. And then we're gonna put it down with blue. And do the same distance. Tape is stuck. Okay, so then let's talk about other things that you can do to your buffalo plaid while I'm kind of doing the same. I messed up that tape, so I don't want it to bleed. I'm going to get a fresh piece. You can add thin little accent lines into your buffalo plaid. As long as your base is done like we just did, you could totally get away with some accent lines, different things like that. Okay, this is our beachy with blue. There it is. It's a Benjamin Moore color. It's the color that's painted on our tables and stuff. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna stencil it on, solid coat. And then we have a few different people. I'm gonna show up, I'm just gonna do the same stenciling. So I'm gonna show up the flamingo real quick. So we are on August 5th. It's gonna be a Wednesday night. We're gonna be doing our third virtual. I feel like we're getting to be, I don't wanna say pros, because it's still very new to us, but doing the virtuals has been fun. And even doing virtual trainings like this has been wildly successful. We've got our ocean pour tray. If you haven't seen that, you need to look. It's wild. People have been doing that without us, without being in here, and it's totally working. So August 5th, 7 o'clock. It's a Wednesday night, but you do not have to. You don't have to be there to take it, because we're going to save the Zoom and we'll save the Facebook Live. So you can do it afterwards. So it's the flamingo round with the cute pink wood beads and the hello with the leg. And then we've also got a flip-flop sign called Flip-Flop Zone, so you can do that. I'm gonna put this down again. Okay, so we've got cute beachy stripes. And I'm gonna try them real quick. So this isn't as matte of a paint. This is a wall paint from Benjamin Moore. It is, I say with blue, W-I-T-H-E. Even though it says blue, it's a very greeny blue. We always get, the, what was it, eggshell? Okay, now I'm going to do my stripes the other way. These out. I'm gonna actually come off the board a little bit so that get a little bit more on that other end. I need to be reusing my tape. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Super simple. If you like wider stripes, just get wider paint tape or double it up. I'll be doubling this up. I thought we had wider tape in here, but we've been buying this tape to send home in kits for different projects. So this is what we've got a lot of. This makes the kits affordable. Okay, I'm gonna go do my second stripe. Yeah, I love this color, Melissa. This is, well, you guys know, if you've been in the shop, this is the color of our shop. This is the color of my house, basically. I don't have any on the walls, I should, but I do have chairs this color. Lots of accents this color. Okay. Alright, remember we've got to leave the tape on the second stripe. And if you're at home and you do it and you pull it up, just put it back down. It's no big deal. So low heat, I'm just going to dry this real fast. Again, you can dry paint tape. It may just lose its stick versus vinyl. If you do a vinyl stencil, vinyl then just becomes like permanently adhered. Okay. Show you this one. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, so see the stripes? These are the darker stripes, that's what we want. And then I'm gonna be covering and protecting this lighter stripe again to do my centers. Again, luckily I started on the bottom. But apparently I can't do this upside down. So you definitely want to get them covered in the same place. If you don't, you're still creating a plaid, but you're not really creating buffalo plaid. You're making up your own plaid, which you're totally allowed to do, but. All right. I don't know about you guys, but Virginia is like Hades out there. It is the hottest. My dogs are so hot they can't even yell at the lawn people. You know it's hot. Okay, so I've got it taped off. I'm gonna go in with a slightly darker color that in my mind is gonna work. I have not done this combination, but it's in the same, see how the tones are very similar, but one's just darker, versus like, those are two different colors, right? So very similar. And you guys know on the paint barring here, we've got a ridiculous amount of coastal colors, because, you know, we are coasty. Okay, and all I'm gonna do is real quick stencil on the squares, and then cross our fingers. And then after this one, I'm gonna try a fall color palette with oranges and greens that I've never done. But I saw the greens would look good together, and I thought, well, we'll try something different. Okay. All right, you ready? Well, where are you? You told me, Erin, where are you at? Oh, okay, let's see. I think that works. Does that feel like buffalo plaid? It definitely has a different look when it's beachy, but I feel like we're getting the same look. So I think that's cute. All right, so that's that color palette. All right, now we're gonna try this color palette. Oh yeah, Erin, girl, it's hot. She's in Chesapeake, she's right down the road. Okay. Right, so pretty. Let's see. I know it's the same thing over and over, but let's give it a go. We're gonna do the same thing, and that way we can compare. I will tell you that if you don't have a darker center, you have checkerboard. You don't have buffalo plaid. Hey, Kimberly. So the colors are very important. We've done, and if you do, like I said, if you do a really, let's say I did black as the base with the colors on top. Like you could do black with, let's say, 2 greens on top. I think that would work. But I think if you did like white and like a gray or something, I don't think that would work. So my advice is any buffalo plaid you want to do, if you do a new color palette, test it. Because it may seem great in your head like mine, but it may not work out. Okay, I'm going to do, so again, lighter. This is avocado, this is moss. We're going to put avocado down first. These are my 2 favorite greens lately. And I'm just going to, again, I'm stenciling. You know, I should have done, I'll keep doing this one. And when I do my big piece, I'm going to show you how to do this with a crusty brush so that you end up with more of a, I don't know, rustic look to it versus a clean stripe. Sometimes it can look a little more fabric-y if you've got little, and you know when we do the crusty brush, that's just a brush that we've used to paint with and we just let it dry in the air. Okay, I don't hate the colors. I'm a little nervous that this is, oh, I shouldn't have taken that one up. I'm a little nervous this is not gonna look like buffalo plaid, but I think 2 successes and 1 failure would be a win. So now we've got our base coat in orange, and then we're going to do our perpendicular stripe. Let's see, go off the edge just a little bit. It's not perfectly straight because I've stretched that tape, but we're just going to live with it. All right, we're just going the other way. So if you just joined, we're doing buffalo plaid. We've already done 2, so we did our traditional, we did a beachy, and now we're doing a fall that I have no idea if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna go down. And then I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna do a big round. All right, so again, you've got to do your base coat across, get the right sponge so you don't end up with the wrong color. And you just, I'm stenciling it. You can paint it with a foam brush. Just be careful of your edges. And make sure you're even. Your second layer on top of that 1 layer of green is what makes it really easy to see where you need your darker color. And then if you remember, you don't take off your second tape. To dry, you're going to leave this on. I'll dry it real quick. Okay, so this has horizontal stripes, and now I've just done vertical stripes, and now we're gonna get the centers, and I can see my stripes on the angle that I'm at, so I'm not gonna move it. If that's okay with you guys. And now what I'm doing is I'm literally putting the tape where we had it before. So if you're smarter than me, you'll save it. And then we're gonna take this slightly darker moss. Hey, Barbara Joy. Oh. And we're gonna cross our fingers that this color palette works. Sometimes they don't. Okay, and I'm just gonna get the centers real quick. I do like the idea of orange and green buffalo plaid. I could rock that. Okay, ready? Let's see. Oh yeah, I think that works. That's buffalo plaid. Okay, so traditional, typical, charcoal and black stripes with the buffalo on top of the brick red. We did the coastal, here we go, blues with the whites, like a blue-green. And then we just did the fall version with an avocado and a moss. Notice that my squares are a little bit off. Thanks, Debbie. But I do like the orange with that. Now, the orange more than these to me, like seeing it with this color like this, that, I think this makes it stand out, right? Yeah, Debbie, it's the last little square that makes it look like buffalo plaid versus checkerboard, right? So I think that's the big difference. So now I'm gonna do a bigger piece. So hold on with me if you can. We're gonna make this, because this is gonna become a project that you can take out. So I'm gonna get rid of my green sponges. Give myself some space. Yeah, I like the orange one too. I like the idea of orange and green plaid. I think it's kind of fun. Very fall. I don't know about you guys, but it's 115 heat index in Virginia. Oh, this would look super cute with a pumpkin or as the pumpkin. I misread what you said, Erin, at first, and I thought, oh, that'd be cute on a pumpkin. Yes, it would. But it'd be cute with a pumpkin on it. Speaking of pumpkins, I have some pumpkins coming. Hold on. I will give you guys a sneak preview via phone photo because I'm not ready to go nuts, but can you see my pumpkins? It's a little personal pumpkin patch for your doorway. They're 2 feet tall. They're huge. They're humongous. And they stand on their own. So I'm going to pull that away because that is a sneak preview that's coming. Okay, so what we're going to do on this, if you want to stick it out with me, is I've got, and I know this is back, oh wait, I'll do it backwards like that. There we go. Cozy. So we have the word cozy. We're going to put that on. Oh, I can just totally show you this backwards. Yes, this is a colonial pine. Thank you, Barbara Joy. Let's see, it's backwards for me, but it's straight for you guys. And then this says, it's a little bit more delicate because it's smaller. Whew. This says, let's get, oh wait, I have to do it backwards. Let's get, does that look right? Yes, it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a buffalo plaid here. Well, really it's going to be this way, but halfway down, and I'm going to let the top be the brown, okay? So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to set these aside, and these are going to be painted white when I'm done. And then, so what I did the stain before I logged on, of course. But I also did the stain on the part that I'm going to be doing buffalo plaid on, and you might say, well, that's a waste of stain. And yes, it would be a waste of stain, except for when you are aging things and doing like an aging technique, and let's say you get some brown paint or some stain or something, and you try to do it after the fact, after you've finished whatever design you're doing, I gotta be honest, I find that very difficult and not so easy to execute. I find, oh wait, hold on, I gotta paint it red first. So this is my line that I'm gonna do. And really my reason for choosing this line is I like this knot. And I want that to stay. So I'm just gonna paint it red first. We're gonna go traditional on this one. And I'm not gonna do anything on the edges. I want those to be stained. But anyway, while I'm painting this, back to distressing. So you can distress something by applying things, right? By putting on a darker paint, by putting on a lighter paint, like a white or a gray, cream, charcoal, black. But unless you're extremely deft with the paintbrush, it can get messed up pretty fast. And so I find that an easier technique to distress is the removal of things. So like you guys can see that I've got the stain already on here. And if I put this on and I do my buffalo plaid, dry it, and then if I hit it with some sandpaper on the corners, I'm gonna take the paint off and then we'll see that stain. If I didn't stain it first, it would look like newly minted wood, which is kind of not what I'm going for. I also might not even put this coat down fully with the idea that it would let some of the brown through. Notice I'm not going against my paint tape. You got to go with it so that it doesn't. But anyway, that's why I do it. You can even do like a dark, like a charcoal or a black stain. You could do multiple stains. You could do anything on the underneath. And if I get any paint on the edge, I'll just sand it off. I'm not worried about it. Okay. Can you see that? Is that color coming through okay? All right, so base coat down. Gonna give it a dry. I'm actually okay with this. I was thinking about doing a second coat because this is, notice how it's got a little brown tinge to it. Do you have to buy large containers of stain? You know, that's a good question. When you go to Lowe's and Home Depot and those sorts of places, they have stain in really big quart containers. And the person asking the question is not in Virginia. But if you're in Virginia, you can buy stain from us. Small containers. Some kits come with it. We've got about 40 colors, maybe more. And we're selling it for $2.50 for 3 or 4 ounces. I can't remember off the top of my head. So not a lot. And it's really all you'll need for most projects. But yeah, I do find that often you have to buy stain in bigger pieces. Okay, so if you're just joining, we are making this into the sample that we just did. So I'm gonna do double size stripes for this. So to do that, well, I don't need this much tape, but I have to mark off 2 widths of this tape. So this will be, I'm going to leave this one red right now. You want them to be parallel, ideally. If you come in the shop, we have created a reusable stencil set to do buffalo plaid. But since you won't have one of those at home, I am simply using tape. So I'm just going to mark off 2 stripes on either end to try to see if I can get all the way across and not use so much tape. Well, hello, Miss Tanya Marie Holland. You guys, Tanya was my college roommate. She's got some stories. Okay, so take 2 of these down. things we could play you music, but we're not supposed to. Okay, and all I'm doing is just giving myself a guide by putting these down. Just makes it easier. You could be super precise with a ruler if you choose. That is not my style. And so we're gonna do everything we just did. If you're just joining, we're teaching how to make buffalo plaid. Okay. All right. And then I'm not going to worry about down there because I know that it would get covered. All right, so now we're going to do a brushy technique. So this one we did super thick. So you can really see that the paint covers, everything is covering really well. This time I'm going to use my beat up brush technique. Chunky brush, gross brush, whatever you want to call it. This one is even not as gross as I'd like it to be, honestly. At home and here somewhere, which I couldn't find, we take a paintbrush and we will just put paint in it, use it, and then let it dry naturally. And what happens is these become super crusty. That is great for doing this technique. But for this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dip in my charcoal paint. I'm gonna dab the excess off, and I'm just gonna go in the direction of the tape. And I'm gonna do this pretty heavy. If I just wanted light rusticy stripes, I could probably be done, but I actually want it to, I need it to be darker so that you really do see the stripe. But this technique will get me an aged look. Trying to see, can you guys see that? Yep, it's a chip brush. Good question, Jenny. Just a chip brush. I am taped to everything right now. Whee! Let me push this up. There we go. And then all I'm doing, even if I get it a little bit heavy, I'm okay with that. Okay? If you don't like the rough look, you can go solid and just stencil it, or use a paintbrush and get it much thicker than I'm doing it. But I need the edges to be gray. They can't be red because then you won't see the stripe. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I think that's okay. Let me lift that up so you can see it. See that? So it's not perfectly covered, but it's mostly covered. So I'll get this one. Okay. I think I'm going to come back over here one more time. I want it just a little bit more right here. All right. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. So that's your first stripe. Now if you just like stripes, you're done, right? Super cute. Now y'all are gonna watch me test my sanity. And I'm gonna dry this, and then I'm gonna see if I can, oh, I might cheat. I might use the reusable stencil because I don't have like a ruler out here. I'll show you. This is our reusable stencil set. If you come in and do anything during our workshops, this is the kit that we've created. So we've got a set of stripes that obviously goes all the way across this round. We've got, this is your center square, and you know what? I don't think it's not gonna work because it's not wide enough, but I'll still show you how this works real quick. So if you come in and you wanna use our reusable stencils, and it's a whole lot easier than taping off, all you would do is lay this down, right? Paint or stencil or brush, however you want to do it. Pull this up and dry it. Lay this down, right? Pull this up and dry it. And then we've created a little baby stencil that goes right in between, and all you would do is cover your squares with this square stencil. But sadly for me, you'll see this is bigger than the stripe that I created. So I'm gonna have to keep going. So we're gonna see if we can line up. I'm gonna use this tape that's already together. No, that's not together. Oh, the pressure. Okay, this one looks like it's pretty together. Oh, you know what I can do though? I can use this. It's a square. Okay, I think I'm good. And if I'm not, we're not going to say anything. Okay, so then I need to keep going. All I'm doing is marking off the stripe that we'll paint. Oh, hey, Sue. Okay. So we are, if you guys, we've got some folks just joining, and we are doing buffalo plaid. We did an exercise in the beginning, and I'll show you guys in just a second, where I walked through all the basics of the technique of how to get buffalo plaid. So now we're just applying it to this sign that we're going to make available. It says, it's going to say, let's get cozy. And all I'm doing right now, we've done the background in red for the buffalo plaid section. We've done the first horizontal stripes in charcoal. And now I'm doing the vertical stripes in charcoal. And then we do the center squares in black. Okay. So I don't have to do that end one unless you're worried about accidentally painting that last one. I'm gonna leave that, which I could very easily do. The silence in here is deafening. Everybody baking in Virginia? It is so hot outside. I was gonna wear my buffalo plaid shirt for this, but I couldn't do it. Could not bring myself. It's long sleeves. Last set of stripes. This is going to tell us really quick if we're centered, which we're not going to worry about. As a group, we're going to let it go. If you are needing to be extremely precise, I definitely recommend using our stencils. They're helpful for that. Or you could break out a ruler and a square. Okay, so this will be our last one. And then I am a little bit worried that I might get brush happy, so I'm just gonna, I didn't get too far off. I think this side's a little bit, we're a little to the right on our plaid design, but that's okay. Yes, Lauren, are you, yes. Lauren is a use the stencil kind of gal. Okay, I'm gonna come this way. Now, you gotta be careful. So see, I've got tape here and I've got tape here. I'm gonna be bringing it this way so that I don't shove paint up under the one at the top. And you'll start to feel the grain of the wood. Let that help you with this technique. When you're dry brushing with the chip brush and you've got super rough wood, the technique looks amazing. This wood is not very rough. I feel like I'm painting highlights on your hair with this direction. Okay, so all we're gonna do this on all of them. Don't bleed. Go as heavy as you like. I am purposely not going solid to show you a different technique. Okay, last one. And then after this one, you don't take these stripes up. You're gonna leave them down while you dry it. And then we're gonna do the centers. Okay. This paint is matte paint that I'm using, so it dries really quick. I could tell I needed just a little more right there. Okay, let me give it a dry real quick. I'm gonna be a little careful because I've got tape on it. Okay, now we need to put tape back down. Ooh, and tapes to the table. Okay. We need to put tape back down where we had it, okay? Again, covering the red. So I know that the first time I had tape here. And if you question that, you can look under here and see there's a solid red square. I'm covering that solid red. We do not want to do this last little bit on top of that. Actually, I need to. So 2 for each one. And you want to be pretty dead on to where you were before. If you get off a little bit, you'll see it. So then just use my spacers. Pick a tape, any tape. There we go. And then the volume of tape is the reason that we designed reusable stencils for the shop. It's not minimal. And I'm just taking my time making sure I'm getting it lined up. Sometimes, you know, paint tape will look like it's going down straight and then it'll curve. All right, I got lots of paint curled careful. All right, one last one. And then we're gonna see it. All right, so now I'm actually going to sponge my black on because I find that we've got tape going in every direction, and when I was just pulling it just then, because I blow dried it, it doesn't really want to stick very well. So now all you're going to do is you're going to cover this overlapping section. And I'm just stenciling, just typical stencil process. If you use colors that are translucent, so let's say you do, can you see the original lines? I could a little bit, Debbie. My lighting's not great right here, as you guys can probably tell. Had I been under our bright fluorescent lights, I think I could have seen it. But anyway, if you do a translucent color like metallic or something like that, very often you don't have to do this last step. So you could check, and if you get like, it truly looks like you've got two crisscrossing stripes, then you're totally done. Because the paint that I'm using is not translucent, adding that second stripe on it does make the color a little bit darker. But generally when it dries, it's not quite as noticeable. So that's why we started doing this last little bit. And again, if you don't do this part, if you pull this up, which I don't have the wherewithal to do, but if you were to pull up the tape before doing this part, it would just look like a checkerboard. So that would be how you'd get gingham, just a regular plaid. I'm using so little paint, but apparently I'm way underestimating what I need every time. Okay, one more. I think that's it. All right, we ready? Just gonna leave it right here and pull. Plaid. Totally worked. Love it. I'll give it a dry and then I'll put the word on top so you can see it. Love it. I might do some decorative stripe right here. That's possible. Thanks, Debbie. That was a good review. And then, let's see. So this is backwards for me. There we go. I think. Oh wait, no. Over here. There we go. Woo, that's hard. Okay, so it's let's get cozy is what it's gonna say. And remember, these are all backwards to me, so if it's and I'm gonna do these in white so that you see them. Bye, Erin. Yeah, I'll post this. It's not gonna be too much longer. You won't miss much. There we go. Let's get cozy. So that's what, so would it be easier just to get really wide tape? Absolutely, Debbie. Get really wide tape. It would be a whole lot easier. I'll show you guys, this is backwards for you, but this is the good side of those words, and so it'll look cleaner when I put it on there. But I wanted it to read correctly. Wow, this is hard upside down, I gotta tell you. There we go. Okay, so that is your buffalo plaid tutorial. So you can do it on anything. You can do it on pumpkins. You guys know we love our pumpkins. So this is our third fall being open. And we always do something very pumpkin. So this year we're going to be doing a pumpkin, I don't know, maybe we'll call it a pumpkin palooza or something like that. But I'm going to do one more sneak peek. We've got some porch sitters that we designed yesterday. I give a little sneak peek picture. I'm not going to post this. Don't screenshot and share. But that, oh, there we go. Those are going to be our pumpkins. You look really close. There we go. It's got a little sign hanging on it that says pumpkin patch. They're going to be available in 1s, 2s, and 3s that you can buy. They're in, I think it's 12, 18, and 24 is the sizes, and they're heavy. They're made out of 2x4s, so they're super heavy, and they'll stand up on their own. And so they're cute on the porch. They're super cute on my fireplace. This is where they'll go back to after we do some of this stuff. And then I also thought it'd be really cute to decorate your deck. I think it'd be nice to put out back, especially since we're home so much these days. So think about decorating for the fall. They're not ready yet. We are going to get them all. We have to, we got to figure out the project. We just built it, so we got to figure out the project. And then the last thing real quick is don't forget our flamingos and flip-flops. Flamingos and flip-flops is coming August 5th. You do not have to be in the virtual to get the benefit of the virtual. We will post it afterwards, and you can do it afterwards. We've had several people doing that with lots of our virtuals, and it's totally doable. It's easy. This one's going to be cute. So one last burst of summer. We've got, thanks Jen, we've got our Hello Flamingo, and then we've got a flip-flop zone, which I failed to bring out here. So take a look. You can buy one or the other or both, all right? You can get both at a discount, so if you know somebody and you both want the opposite signs, do it together. It's cheaper. Okay, everybody, I'm going to post this. I'm going to finish painting. I'm going to do these white, and maybe I'll do some distressing along the edges and stuff like that. And then I will post a picture so you can see. And then once I have the kits ready, they'll be ready for you to do. All right, everybody, have a great day. Stay inside. It's obnoxiously hot in Virginia, so don't do it. Everybody take care. Bye.